it was always pole vault. For sure, from the very beginning when I first jumped, I was like super obsessed with it. I just became a maniac. I had to be great at it, and I just didn't accept anything except excellence out of myself, even from when I was like 5 years old. But you gotta be a little crazy though. Like you have to have some sort of that kind of wiring in you to go through with it. The only person that can control your own destiny is yourself, and like you have to go out there and get it. This is probably the strangest two people that you could say in the same sentence, but it would probably be Justin Bieber and NBA Youngboy.
Okay, right. Hello and welcome to Go Wild, the PUMA podcast, where we have the opportunity to chat to our movers and shakers in sport and culture. We'll find out a little bit more about them and what makes them tick and why they are so outstanding in their chosen field and their career. I'm Connor Jackson and I'm your host, and today's guest is none other than Armand Mondo Duplantis from Sweden, world record holder for the pole vault. And do you know, when I say world record for pole vault, I think I just stop there.
Sure,
it
yeah.
just goes forever, the list, and we haven't got that much time. But we'll find out a lot, Mondo. So welcome to the podcast. I don't even know where to begin with you, so maybe the beginning is the right place.
Sure,
right?
sure. Yeah.
Started off as a kid, pole vaulting. I speak to lots of different sports stars, and many of them say, I started when I was 15, started when I was 17, and I found the love, the passion for athletics. But for you, was that the case, or were you a superstar from very young?
No, I wouldn't say superstar, but I started very young. My father, he built the entire setup in the backyard. So I wouldn't say I was forced into it, but it was one of these situations where it's kind of just in your face.
Yeah.
I was at least forced to try it, honestly. I would say that. But super homemade from the beginning. Got like the track from the local high school, got the pit from the local high school. He was like, it's a big oil kind of region in the United States in Louisiana. So it was like these pipes from oil rigs that were made for the standards that hold the bar up together and everything. And so I just started like that, really. I had 2 older brothers also that jumped, and so I was maybe 3, 4 years old, whatever it was. But I was like genuinely proper jumping at like 5 years old.
I'm looking at you with a big smile because I can't imagine how someone goes, here you go, here's a pole, just start flying yourself over that. And you just went, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, easy, no problem. I mean, were you at all intimidated by the fact that the rest of the family was in sport as well and were more than capable of vaulting?
Yeah, it's a little bit twisted sport, huh?
It is.
Like it's very exotic. It's it can be intimidating, I guess. I guess that's what's probably so good that I started at such a young age too. Because if I was like, I wouldn't say I'm like the craziest adrenaline junkie daredevil ever. Like if I get on top of a skyscraper, I look down like I'm feeling the same thing everybody else is. You know what I mean? No, yeah. No, I'm joking. But it's like, I guess I was just too young to where like fear wasn't really a thing at that time in my life. It was more just like I was seeing what my brothers was doing. I watched videos of my dad growing up, watched videos of all the best, and I was just like, I just wanted to emulate that. I just wanted to be like that. It wasn't like so many thoughts going on really. And it's not like I just grabbed the pole and I was jumping 6 meters. You know, I started jumping this high and then you just work your way up little by little. So it's not like you get thrown into the fire, you build up to it. But you gotta be a little crazy though. Like you have to have some sort of that kind of wiring in you to go through with it. And I had it.
Was it an event where you just instantly you gravitated to it in that sense and thought, I'm not going to try any other thing because I just love pole vault and that's it?
Yes, kind of. It was like that. Like for sure, from the very beginning when I first jumped, I was like super obsessed with it. I just became a maniac, like for good and for bad. Like in the beginning when I first was jumping, my mom didn't really even want to watch me jump because I became too crazy. I would curse. I would like this demon would come out of me. Like it was like, I had to be great at it. And I just didn't accept anything except excellence out of myself. Even from when I was like 5 years old, I would just get so upset if the jumps weren't up to like whatever standard I was holding myself to. And so like I played like a little bit of football, soccer, and also a little bit of baseball too. Yeah. Just because I had like buddies and like wanted to hang with people also. Like it was more like a social club for me than anything. But I really loved playing other sports as well. But like it was always pole vault.
And how did you set those standards when you were very young? I mean, who were you comparing yourself to?
Like nobody really. I don't really know. That's a good question though. I just was like probably impatient. I just wanted to be the best. And I just like, I had these big goals in myself, and I would be watching videos of my older brother, or I'd be watching videos of my dad or Renaud Lavillenie jumping. And I would just be like, I just want to be that. I want to be on the Olympic stage. I want to be like in the world championships. I want to be jumping world records. Like that's what I want to be doing. And I just wanted like everything. And I just had that in me. I don't know. It was more just like, if I take a bad jump, I was like, that's not world championships level. Even though I'm this high, tall, jumping this high, you know, it's like way far away in the future. But that's just the way I thought.
I love that fact where you're setting your own standards, because it's funny enough, because I had this conversation with Usain Bolt, not on the podcast, by the way. So if people are looking for it on the podcast, they won't find it. This was a personal conversation we were having. And I asked him about how he set his standards and about becoming a legend and what it meant becoming a legend for him. And for him, a legend was like winning 3 Olympic titles 3 times if you possibly can do that. And I was like, well, hang on, you've won 3 gold medals in 1 Olympic Games already. To me, that makes you a legend.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But
sure.
not for him. So he had his own personal standards to reach and obtain to succeed in his own mind. So if you kind of, you're likened to Usain in many ways, if people just say Mondo, a single name, they know exactly who they're talking about. I mean, do you kind of set your own standards in that particular way, or are you still kind of listening to other people saying to you, I think you should do this, I think you can do that?
No, everything's internal. And I think the best athletes have that in them, to where you have to have that type of internal drive and motivation for it to really last and for it to work. Is that you have to have these goals set up for yourself because you really want it. Nobody else can want it for you. And especially as an individual athlete, like the only person that can control your own destiny is yourself. And like you have to go out there and get it. And so I've always been very driven, and I have my own goals. And I think that's probably why I'm able to control myself and go to all these competitions, because every time I go to a competition, it doesn't matter. And I don't break the world record every single competition, unlike what a lot of people think I do.
It's true. It's true. They do.
And people think I will do it every competition too, no matter where I go to, which is okay. Like, that's fine.
So let's say now, take me through this. You've just scaled over. I'm not taking you to a world record. Let's just stay an average Mondo Duplantis performance, 6 meters 15. Say.
I like it.
Right,
okay.
Just say, I love it, 6:15. You're going up. What is it like falling from 6 meters 15 down onto that mat? What's the sensation?
Well, it depends. I made this bar.
Yeah, you've made this one. Yeah, it's a good one.
Those are good falls.
Okay.
Those are good falls. The ones you miss are just bad. Those are just not fun. I don't know. It's nice. It's a beautiful free fall, but I think that I probably don't enjoy it as much as like, in the sense of if I was just jumping like off of a building onto a mat from 6 meters tall, like that would feel higher to me. I've actually jumped off of like this ledge one time. It was about 6 meters high onto a pole vault pit.
Right.
And I was like, I'm scared. Like, this is really high. And I was like feeling scared as I was on the way down because I didn't really know where I was and everything. And like, that was scary to me. But I don't know, when I'm jumping, it's like, it's so natural. Like, it doesn't really, nothing affects me really in that way. Like, I'm so in this weird state of tunnel vision and flow and autopilot mode that like, you don't really get to understand what you're doing. Like, your body just takes over completely, and it's like you're in this weird flow state of like, you're in full control, but it's not really you. It's like you're from the outside, like somebody else is controlling your own body. It's super weird. So I don't really like I could sit here and like lie and be like, it's the craziest feeling, euphoric, blah, blah, blah. Like, and it is, I guess, it's this rush of emotions, but it's like, I don't know. It's just like, it's different. It's like a different dimension almost.
Well, what I like is your comparison. So you've actually said what it was like to fall off a ledge. However, that was more fearful than just coming falling down.
And it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so is it easy to return after a championship, to go to a meet and do another one-off performance? Or
yeah, I mean, I want to say it's hard because that would make the most sense, like logically. But I usually jump good after the championships anyway, so it's like, so it doesn't really make sense in that way. Because I mean, you still are in good shape. It's more just mentally if you can bounce back, and then also I guess physically a little bit. But I usually like, as long as I do good in the championships, which I've been fortunate enough to do the past few times, it's like I have like 2 days where I party hard, and like mentally just completely detach and celebrate it. And then I feel like I come back pretty well from that. And then I get to like kind of press the refresh button, and then I'm back into it and just like spend some family time completely just only celebrating the moment and the things that really matter with it and not like too caught up in it. And then when I come back, I feel like I'm like a, you know, what do you say, a goldfish. Like I really do lose the memory like quite quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably too quickly because I just like, I'm pretty easily like looking forward.
What is it? Are you happy to just relax? Are you going to go fishing? Are you going to go out into the towns? What's going to make you just chill out and just forget athletics for that moment if you ever can?
Yeah, I do. No, I think I'm pretty good at that actually. I'm in the studio quite a bit. I love that. I have like a bunch of friends now, like producer friends, and we just get in the studio and we just do whatever. Like whatever, it doesn't matter. Like just make stuff. And I get really like just soaked into that. And I love that so much. I feel like it really takes me away from everything in the world. Like it's one of the few things that I've found that I just like, I'm so in it and it's the only thing that matters. And it's so different than sports where you have this clear objective and clear goal that you want to reach and you're just trying to reach it because it's like there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever you feel.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a beautiful contrast into like what I normally do and like what my life has been built upon in sports, which is such like clear objectives. It's like, I just want to be world champion. I want to be this. I want to be this. It's like, that's not what it is when you're making music. Like you're just making stuff. And if it's a vibe in the moment and you and the guy are dapping up and you're like, hey, this is crazy. Like, then it's like, that's the feeling. It's this thing of like community and vibrations with people that's hard to explain. It's just that, hanging with my family, hanging with my fiance. And I think that's the most important thing, really. Like, I don't have time to like make, you know, widen the circle too much. So I keep it tight.
It's interesting when you said about the music side of it as well, because it's liberating, isn't it, in that sense? It gives you that opportunity to be free and have a sense of something with no pressure.
Yeah.
No expectation. You, like you say, you just go with that vibe. Fashion is always giving you that sense of free expression. You can dress, you can do, you can whatever you want. How does fashion sit with you? Are you happy to be kind of one of those fashion icons, it's got to be said, that we look at and we go, what's Mondo wearing today? And yeah.
I don't think I have to be a fashion icon, but I think I've realized now how important it is to have your own style and to like wear things that you feel comfortable with and like. Because I think and just try to figure out what you like and what works for you. Because it gives you this it enhances your personality and your type of your self-confidence to a completely different degree, because everybody's going to wear different things and people like different things also. It's whatever floats your own boat. But I think now in the past recent years of just like being more into it and just trying to figure out what I really like and what not. And there's no right or wrong in that either.
Never.
But it's such a good feeling. It's like when you have that right outfit on, you put those pair of shoes on that you like with that pair of pants that you like and the shirt, it's just like, yeah, it's a good day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You walk outside and you're a little bit, your chest is a little bit higher, more upright, a little higher. Yeah. And like, that's a really priceless feeling. And like, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is just to have some type of self-confidence and to be confident in what you're doing. And I think style and what you wear is a very important part of that.
Getting on the front to Vogue.
Yeah.
Kind of tells you that
you
must be kind of a little bit stylish.
Maybe, I don't know.
Every athlete gets on the front of Vogue.
I'm just super good at pole vault. Maybe either or.
Well, yeah.
But both.
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, what was that like? When the phone call came in to say, Mondo, we kind of would like you to go in Vogue. And you're thinking, oh yeah, that's okay. They'll do a little kind of spread inside, page 12 or 13, whatever it is. Then all of a sudden they say, no, you're the cover boy. I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a bit more special and more cool when it's not directly tied to what I'm doing also with sports too. It's not like I'm holding a pole, whatever, I'm in my outfit, that I'm jumping in, then I'm on Vogue. That would maybe feel a little less real. But if I'm actually in it and stylish and feel good and I feel like I'm, even if you're kind of on the edge a little bit of edginess, as far as maybe it's not something I would wear like in a normal occasion, but for this it fits and it's fun, it's a little bit risky, and that can be really nice too. So I mean, I think it's so cool. And I really have like started to really, love fashion in that sense, and I think it's so important culturally for everybody. I think it's so important.
Then you've looked at, this is a little bit sly of me to go this now, right? So you've been in the world of sport being successful. You dabbled in the music side of it. You enjoy that. You dabbled into the fashion side of it as well. Now, which one of those worlds are you like, you feel... Yeah, you could be honest. Nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening. Yeah, got the camera.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the real thing. I'm gonna say the real thing. Wait, was sports an option? Is that what you said?
Of course. Yeah. You're sweet because it's the world of sport, world of fashion, world of music.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think they can all come in unison in a very beautiful way, and I think that's probably the trifecta of what makes the world go around too. And I mean, I think you saw that when, especially like during the pandemic, when everything got shut down. It's like, we're not able to have concerts and you're not able to have, sports and live sports, and people aren't able to watch that. And there was such a sense of community that was missing with everybody. And like, it's almost like, even for me, even like being an athlete, it's like I didn't even realize how important that is. And I have this whole different understanding and perspective of how important music is and sports and fashion, everything, all these things that culturally bring everybody together, like how much you just need that. Because then it's like not just about like numbers and this thing and finances and whatnot. Like it's about people at the end of the day, and it's about people coming together, and that's the most important thing in the whole world. I think in some weird way they're all intertwined and they're all kind of the same. And in anything where I can do something where I'm enjoying my surroundings and with people, and I'm making new close friends, and we're on the same wavelength and vibes, and we're just having fun, and we're going towards the same goal, whatever it may be, and we're just pushing each other and making each other better people. And I think I love it. But so I love the sports thing. I have so many good relationships because of sports. Music has been the same for me the past few years, and also fashion.
So we're going to flick a little bit now towards the quickfire round. But before I get to the quickfire round, talking about what happened after in the race, because the prize or the failing was swapping vests.
Yeah.
Remember, so
Sure.
you would have to compete in a Norwegian vest.
And then, yeah.
And Carsten had to compete in a Swedish vest, which, he wasn't that happy even just putting it on
and walking around the stadium.
Walking around the stadium with it, which I found quite funny.
Yeah, I think, it's so good too. I remember he broke the 300-meter hurdle world record a few weeks back in China. I'm like, it was like on the Swedish biggest paper. It's just like Carsten Warholm breaks the 300-meter hurdle world record. And there's a picture of him with the Swedish. So like they still use it in the press here too.
Love it.
It's like the best thing ever. I just love looking at that.
Loved it.
But I think that was because we had a bunch of ideas too. We had all kind of stuff, whether it was like, real like cash incentives or whatever it was, like just between me and him and whatnot. But it was like, I think that's what sports is about. And that's what like real friendly rivalry is about too. And I think that was we came up with the best prize as far as that, or the loser or not prize, whatever, prize for the winner. Yeah.
Well, in one case, I'm thinking about the fact that you had a choice to represent either USA or Sweden as well, being,
Dual. Yeah.
dual. I mean, what led you to Sweden?
Yeah. I mean, I think opportunity from the beginning also. As far as my childhood and growing up in Louisiana, it was very slim as far as being a pole vaulter and being a track and field athlete. There was no competitions, couldn't do barely anything there. And I would be in Sweden in the summers to be able to compete. Basically, as far as even facilities and whatnot, I would just train in my backyard. That was about it. But there was nothing to be found. It's so different from the club system here. So I would go and I would compete for my mom's little tiny club in Alvesta, Ikastal. And in the summers, and it was, for me, it felt like it was more, my sporting life and my pole vaulting life was more probably closely related here than it was, even though, of course, I do have my American parts and I feel American. When it came to my pole vaulting and everything, I was a lot more Swedish in that way, because that's where I actually had the room almost to develop more, was here. When I was here in the summers, when I had 4 meets in a row, and for me, it felt like I was on this professional circuit. Yeah. I'm 8 years old competing, and that was that was so huge for my development and my progress also. So it's a few things, but that was probably the biggest thing also. And of course, it's very difficult being in the United States and being a professional track and field athlete. So because I compete pretty much predominantly in Europe also, so being based here and living here made the most sense too.
Okay, now This is the part where I take a deep breath and I tell you this is a quick fire round, but it's never been. Right? You can give me short answers. You can go yeah or no, or you can really elaborate on your answer.
Okay.
And because I know you, if you give me a yes or no answer and I'm thinking,
More. Give me more.
I'm going to say, no, you have to tell me why. You have to justify the reasons why.
All right. I'll try to be nice and
Okay,
short,
here
to
we
the
go.
point.
All right, here we go. Now, you've already mentioned about Louisiana, it's where you grew up, etc., etc. So here's your first question related to the... Okay. Here we go. Cajun food or Swedish food?
I hate these. honestly. It depends on when it is in the season.
Oh.
It depends on when it is in the season.
Yes, seasonal.
But probably the most fun time of the season is the off season.
Right.
So then I'll take Cajun food because it's very heavy. It's very heavy though, and it's not something that you don't eat just like all the time throughout the whole week. And I can eat probably Swedish food more often. And like if I was stuck on an island and they said which one do you want, I'd probably take the Swedish food. Because I could probably stick with that for a longer time and be more of a functional person. But as far as the Cajun food, it's super nice if you're okay with like a food coma and you don't have to do anything for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Then I'd take the Cajun.
All right, okay.
Sure.
So you didn't give me an answer. But anyway.
But I took it. I took the Cajun.
You took the Cajun.
I'd say Cajun, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Another world record or a Grammy?
I guess a Grammy. That sounds pretty crazy. I mean, it would be a, that seems like I would, I think that would just be more, that would be not nice, but it would be pretty exceptional also to have a Grammy. That would be a lot of things going right. So I would say, like just for fun, since I have, my 12 world records, I don't want to be too greedy with that.
Yep.
Then I'll go Grammy.
Okay, Grammy it is. All right, we're talking about music again now. Keep coming in and out.
Sure.
Who would you love to do a collaboration with?
This is probably, I think of like a couple people, and this is probably the strangest two people that you could say in the same sentence, but it would probably be Justin Bieber and NBA YoungBoy.
Okay, right, okay.
Which probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people. I really like Kid Laroi too, actually, but Post Malone, so many people. But of course, probably Bieber and then NBA YoungBoy, who's like, and for people that don't even know, it's like this Baton Rouge rapper. He's super big though, but he's like a hip hop artist. Like can be quite vulgar sometimes too, but also like crazy melodic and super genius too.
And that could be your Grammy right there.
Maybe. You never know. Yeah.
You never know.
You might have done it. You might have set it up.
Hey, let's hope. Let's hope. Okay. Yeah. Who's the most stylish athlete you know? We can't include ourselves.
No,
so I can see
that.
that you're looking at me going and pointing if you are saying,
Does retired count?
But yeah, overall, I mean, it doesn't have to be track athlete. We can make it wide in that question. So it could be literally any sport.
Trying to think of like different sports. What would be yours? You go first.
I'd go outside. There's two. And I'd go Charles Leclerc.
I was actually thinking about saying that, yeah.
Well, you can say it. Or Lewis Hamilton.
Shit, that was going to be the next one too.
Because they have their own style.
Yeah, I would say...
They create a style.
Lewis has his own style. I think Charles is probably, I relate more to that as far as what I do personally. Would probably be more towards what Charles does. Lewis, of course, like really bends what people think you should do and whatnot. And I think that's super inspirational also.
Do we have the opportunity in track to really show ourselves? Because, when I come to the dining halls and everybody's literally just dragging themselves
yeah,
like looking like they've been beat up, right?
Yeah.
Because they have most of them.
Because they probably are. They probably just like worked out and like are all messed up.
Yeah.
No, I guess not really that much in some ways. But I think for me, I feel like sometimes it is just like you just put on your joggers and you put on some slides, whatever. It's like, it's hard to just...
Comfortable.
Yeah. But I guess with like social media and Instagram and stuff now, it's not like, it's not the same situation where it's like NBA and whatnot and you're like shy and whatever. And like you go in there and you put on a fit, but like Instagram, you can always nice fit pics and stuff on Instagram.
You can do it there too, right? That's true. Okay, after a victory, are you more likely to stay in, relax, gather your thoughts, or hit the town?
Yeah, the latter for sure.
I'm glad you were honest.
Yeah. I think you have to be a certain type of crazy to be a pole vaulter and to be successful and be a good one. So I would say out of all the track and field events, maybe any sport, honestly, I would say the pole vaulters are the wild, probably on the wilder side of things, and get into the most just messy stuff. So, and I actually think it's important too.
I think that for sure.
Yeah, and I think especially if you do something that's worth it, or if you've had a period where of just tough grind, and sometimes you just need to let loose and just kind of into the mind a little bit to refresh and keep going. I think you see that with a lot of like the really best athletes too, is that they also like, when need be, they're not afraid to let loose and to hit that kind of refresh button. I think that's important.
For sure. So what record do you have on repeat, or basically the record that you'd listen to the most at this particular moment in time?
I'd say probably Daisies on the new Justin Bieber album. Yeah, I would say that one's like the 100 times I listened to it. Hadn't got old. Just it's aging like wine. So that, a few like McGee records too that I listen to quite a bit. I think he helped co-produce the Bieber album too. And so, but the new Bieber album and the Daisy song, that's pretty good.
To you, does the music has to be in a certain place, or can you listen to the same tune and get the same out of it in your car as you would walking on the street or in the bathroom?
It's situational. Yeah, it's different. It's way different. I mean, what I'm listening to when I wake up compared to in the car, to training, way back from training, before a competition, at night, eating dinner with Des and whatnot, like that's all different vibes. And I think it kind of has to be too, because you're in different
mood sets.
Yeah, the day gives you different moods. I can't. I love hip hop and I love rap, and but it's not really something you just wake up and you go right to it. You got to ease into it. It's probably something, maybe some jazz, some classical jazz, some R&B, maybe something to kind of get into the day and whatnot, and then it starts accelerating maybe throughout the night, and then it kind of rounds back off.
Yeah.
But no, I think it naturally it should differ. But I do know a lot of people that just like
hit it hard.
They just hit it, or just they like what they like, and they just hit the same thing from the second they wake up, second they go to bed, and it's like, yeah, to each its own, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Your favorite thing about Sweden that the USA doesn't have?
I'd say the sense of style. I do appreciate that sense of also like etiquette of things too. I can only speak a bit of where I come from, the United States too, because the United States is so big. Like you don't really get the same experience everywhere. But it's where like you're going out to eat, you have to wear pants, you have to cover your knees, cannot show your toes either. Like you would never do that in Sweden. I see that all the time in the United States, which I do not appreciate. Really, I think that's pretty disrespectful to everybody in the restaurant, everybody around. Honestly, you're not gonna wear a hat at the table either.
No.
Take the hat off. Just like those kind of things. I think that I really appreciate here, in the sense of like different level. But then, I kind of can get both sides of it too, because sometimes it's nice to wear like just relax and things don't matter. Like that can be nice, but I think it's maybe a little too on the sloppy, and sometimes also. But that would probably be my biggest pet peeve.
And finally, for me, in a sense, I say that, it never is, but like a good photographer, I'll always go, last picture,
right, yeah.
Last question.
Exactly.
It won't be, but it may be. What's next on Mondo Duplantis' bucket list? What would you like to achieve?
I don't know. I have like a lot of things. Like just like in life in general, like there's a lot of things going on right now. I have a wedding that I'm planning next year. So that's taken up a lot of like just mental thoughts and planning and whatnot, and making sure everything's going to be the way that we want it. We're moving to another place also here within the city in Stockholm. So there's a lot of stuff with that also, as well, like just logistics and whatnot. And then of course, like when it just comes to like just normal performance stuff, that's just like, that probably takes less up of my mind than it used to, because I feel like that just comes kind of second nature in this sense. And I know I have a better way of turning it off when I need to and turn it on. So like even like right now, I'm just like, I'm not thinking about the World Champs. I'm not thinking about the next meet yet, really. I'm more just like, when I'm there, I know I'm going to be focused. And when I'm at the track and training and whatnot, I start feeling like, okay, I'm envisioning myself there. So I'm not really in that state of mind yet. So right now it's a lot of like personal things. I feel like that's on my bucket list.
It's not a bad way to be.
I think so. I feel like it gives me like a nice balance of things. Yeah. Because I think that athletes can get super, super caught up, which I mean, kind of have to too, because you have to care about what you do, and you have to care about your performance, and care about your success, and care about how you do things. But but you need other things. You have to have other things too that you're doing. I feel like.
Mondo, I can assure you, at the age of 25, mate, you've achieved more than most people will ever experience in their life. It's been a huge pleasure to share this little moment with you. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. And stay on your wild side. It's a pleasure. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Scott.